So here we're going to talk about a first guitar lesson. This would be a lesson for somebody that's, say, maybe 11 years old and up through adults. Here are 3 books that we use. We have our assignment book. This is just a blank manuscript book just used to write assignments out. So those would be the details of your lesson. Then we have Mike Risko Music School Guitar Method Book 1. This is a great book that I wrote. I wrote a series of guitar books. And let's just actually kind of flip into here. There's a lot of info here, but one of the first things that we want to learn about is the names of the strings. The way this diagram on page 2 works is it's a picture of the guitar like this. The dark line up here is the nut, which is this thing right here on the guitar. The vertical lines are the strings, and the horizontal lines here are the frets. And when you play a note on the guitar, you play right behind the fret, not on top of the fret. So really, this page is also about tuning, but we can get to that later. The main thing here is let's just learn what the names of the strings are. So string number 1 is E, and that's this thinnest one. String number 2 is B. String number 3 is G. Number 4 is D, down here. String number 5 is A. And string number 6 is E. There are 2 E's, which are a couple octaves apart from each other. So that's on page 2. That's important just to know the names of the strings. Let's keep moving on here. Then, without getting into all the theory, there's all kinds of stuff about theory and how everything works, which is really important, but we usually come back to that later on. What we're going to do is we're going to jump to chords right away, so kind of start to learn how to play a chord. Here is a chord diagram. This is on page 32 of the Mike Risko Book 1. Again, here's a diagram. It's the guitar like this. And when you play guitar, it works that the way that the fingering works, and it says it right here, index is 1, middle finger is number 2, ring finger is number 3, and pinky is number 4. So when we look at this diagram, again, vertical lines are the strings, horizontal lines are the frets. These are your finger numbers. The O's mean that you play the string open, and that is with no fingers, like that's an open string. And then the X's mean you don't play those strings, so you don't play these 2 bottom strings. All right? There's other information about how your fingertip makes contact with the string, all kinds of great stuff to read. So let's move on. We're going to go over to the chord progressions. This is a great way to just get started playing right away. Here's an A chord. This page on page 35, they're in alphabetical order, major, minor, and 7th chords. And later on, of course, we'll get into why they are called what they are. Here's an A chord, finger 1, 2, and 3. And let's take a look at the guitar here. We put our fingers just like this. One of the hardest parts about playing guitar is making sure that your fingers are on the right strings but not touching any strings that are supposed to be open. If you look at the A chord, the 1st string and the 5th string are open. The E is X'd out, so we don't play that. Now on the next page, 36, we have a chord progression that's just more than 1 chord in a row. We have an A, this means to strum 4 times. Then we try to switch to the D, strum it 4 times. Back to A, back to D, and repeat the whole thing over and over and over again. So here's the A chord. I just strum it 4 times. And when you first start, you're going to go like this. Oh, I got to play a D chord, and you're going to have to look at the page like this and figure out it's like this triangle shaped chord, and you're going to have to stop for probably like a few seconds at least and get your fingers in the right spot. Here's a D chord. And then after all that work, you're going to have to stop for a second and get yourself back to the A chord. Our goal is to go like this, to make a smooth transition without stopping. Now, as you get better at this, you can start to maybe strum, and that's a kind of another thing to work on, where I could go. Now it's sounding a little more musical. If I get a little more interesting. So as we go through this, I'll do one more. A minor, to E minor. Here's A minor. Okay, a couple open strings, X'd out string that we don't play. I put my fingers right where it says. Next chord is E minor. If you notice, there are a lot of cool things that happen here that make it easier. If I have the A minor here, the second and third finger just kind of shift over to play the E minor. So let me demonstrate that on the guitar. Here's what A minor looks like. When I go to E minor, these two fingers just move over and this guy comes off. You want to try to do that in one motion. So I go like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to play my A minor, take that off, go like that, and go like that. What I want to do is I want to play A minor, and then all at the same time, do all of those things. So I go A minor 4 times, 2, 3, 4, switch to E minor. A minor. Okay, I'm going to do the next one. It's A7, A7, to D7, back to A7, I'll do one more on page 36, number 4, A, then it goes to D, back to A, last is E. Okay? That's what you should be doing with chords. In this book, page 36, 37, and 38, there's 20 chord progressions. Once you can do that, you can play lots of different songs. That's like, you know, that's really what you need to play songs, is to get some chords together. Now, the other thing you should be doing in your lesson is reading out of either this book or a book like this. This is the Hal Leonard Guitar Method, Book 1. Really easy book to get through, so it's not too frustrating. We're going to jump right to, you know, there's all this theory in the beginning again about different things that you need to know. But here, that's a quarter note worth 1 beat, that's a half note worth 2 beats, and that's a whole note worth 4 beats. We're going to just dive right into this, and I'll show you how easy this is. Anybody can do this. On page 6 of the Hal Leonard Guitar Method book, there's a diagram, just like I had in my book, like this. Okay, shows the string, open string. That note up on the top of the staff, on the top space, is E. That's this note right here. When you look over here, that's the note F, which is right here. And then they show you the note G over here, third finger. And again, I play close to the fret, not on top of it like this. That's not going to sound good. And not way back here. I want to be sort of in the middle or close to the fret. Now, if we look down here, Cliff, right? Number 1, we've got E, F, G, F, E. And these are whole notes worth 4 beats. So I'm going to play that. You could maybe, let's see. I was going to say you could kind of look at this so our audience can see what we're doing. This is E. First string open. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I go to F. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I go to G. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back to F. 1, 2, 3, 4. E. 1, 2, 3. Moving on over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. F. 1, 2, 3, 4. G. 2, 3, 4. Then it goes G to F with a whole note E at the end. 1, 2, 3, 4. Quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. F. 1, 2, 3, 4. G, G, F, F, E, E, E. Okay? Nice. One more quick thing, just to show you what you can do with this book. If I move on a couple pages, here's a song, Ode to Joy. Now, if I play just the guitar part, just the melody, it sounds like this. Everybody knows that, right? I'm playing this simple rhythm. Everybody knows it goes. But the rhythm there is just... So that's the melody. If I play these gray letters, those are the chords, like this. C, G. When you get fancy, you put them together like this. Watch this. I'll keep going. Then it goes to an F chord. Next line. All right. So that's a good first lesson. That little part at the end, that's going to take a little bit longer. And if you'd like to reach out to us, you can reach us at 914-762-8757 or shoot us an email at musicstore@riskomusic.com.